Welcome to the Philippines. "7,000 islands rise from turquoise waters, lined with white beaches that appear almost unreal in the sunlight. Beneath the surface unfolds vibrant coral reefs, shimmering schools of fish, a marine life that belongs to the most diverse on our planet. Along tropical landscapes, rice terraces, and active volcanoes, we discover today the Pearl of the Orient. The Philippines consists of approximately 7,600 islands, with only a quarter of them inhabited, which ensures that many of the islands have remained untouched. The country lies on the Pacific Ring of Fire and has more than 20 active volcanoes. Additionally, it belongs to the most biodiverse regions of our Earth, both above water and below water. The Philippine coral reefs are among the most species-rich marine ecosystems on Earth, and the third highest concentration of whale sharks worldwide can be found here. Critics point out, however, that regular feeding, especially here, alters the natural migration behaviour of the animals. Eye-catchers are the jeepneys, colourful, elongated jeeps, mobile works of art, and the most iconic means of transportation in the country. We begin our journey today in the Visayas, which form the geographical heart of the Philippines. Hundreds of islands lie here, connected by shallow seas, coral reefs, and tropical coasts. Above all, Cebu, one of the historical centres of the Philippines. Cebu marks a decisive point in the colonial history of the country. In 1521, Ferdinand Magellan's expedition landed here, and with it began the permanent contact between Europe and the archipelago. In Cebu City, the most important testimonies of this era still stand today. The Basilica del Santo Niño is the oldest Catholic church in the country and a religious centre for millions of believers. A few steps away stands Magellan's Cross, a symbol of the first baptism of indigenous rulers, and thus a turning point in cultural history. But Cebu is not only historically relevant. The nature around Cebu is also impressive. In the south lie the Kawasan Falls, a multi-tiered waterfall system fed by calcareous mountains. The water appears intensely turquoise because minerals scatter the light. The falls are nestled in dense rainforest and belong to the most famous freshwater landscapes of the country. Further inland rises Osmeña Peak. At just over 1,000 metres, the highest point of Cebu. From here opens a rugged hill chain that geologically resembles karst formations. The landscape appears unusually rough for a tropical island and shows how strongly erosion has shaped the limestone. On the coast near Moalboal, a rare marine phenomenon occurs. A permanent sardine school that moves directly off the coast. Millions of fish form rotating formations that surround divers and snorkelers. Unlike seasonal migrations, this ecosystem remains stable year-round, an unusual biological exception. North of Cebu lie two islands with independent character. Bantayan Island has flat, calm beaches and a village structure that is more shaped by local daily life than by tourism. Malapascua Island is internationally known for encounters with thresher sharks, a rare deep-sea species that regularly appears at certain depth stations. Hardly any island in the Visayas shows so many facets: colonial past, highland landscapes, rainforest rivers, and open sea. Bohol Island lies directly east of Cebu and is one of the geologically most distinctive islands of the Philippines. Its central plateau is dominated by the Chocolate Hills, over 1,200 nearly identical limestone hills that are evenly distributed across the landscape. They formed through marine deposits and millennia of erosion. During the dry season, the grass turns brown, making the hills appear like chocolate domes. Despite their fame, their formation remains a topic of scientific discussion. The Lobok River runs through the island as a calm waterway, lined with dense vegetation. Along its banks lie small communities whose agriculture and daily life depend on the river. Whether on a boat or stand-up paddling, a trip on the emerald green river remains an unforgettable experience. On the southwest coast lies Panglao Island, connected by bridges to the mainland. The island has coral reefs, sandy beaches, karst caves, and tourist infrastructure. In the east of the island lies Anda, a quiet coastal section with largely undeveloped beaches. Here, fishing and small-scale agriculture still dominate. Anda shows a version of Bohol that remains closer to traditional coastal culture than to tourist staging. South of both islands awaits Siquijor, a compact island with a strong rainforest core and a ring-shaped coastal road. Its small size creates an unusual proximity between mountain, jungle, and sea. The Campuga Falls consist of several natural pools, fed by underground karst systems. The terraced form of the falls shows how water has cut into soft rock over millennia. In the natural main pool, visitors can swim and cool off in the clear water. The island shows how tropical landscape and local culture are intertwined. Negros lies west of Cebu and is a large volcanic island with a mountainous centre and fertile coastal plains. The soil is rich in volcanic minerals, which historically made the region a centre of sugar production. Dumaguete on the southeast coast developed into a cultural intersection between Visayas and Mindanao and is known for its colourful Buglasan festival. At this cultural festival, the history and diversity of the region are celebrated in traditional costumes. Directly off the coast lies Apo Island, a globally recognised marine protected area. As early as the 1980s, local communities introduced sustainable fishing rules. The result is one of the healthiest coral ecosystems in the region. Turtles, reefs, and clear visibility made Apo Island a model project for community-based conservation. Negros shows how economic use and ecological responsibility can exist side by side. Panay lies north of Negros and is a large island with dense settlement and strong coastal connection. Its most famous place is Boracay, a small offshore island that gained international fame for its exceptionally fine sand. White Beach forms the tourist centre, a long, flat beach with calm water. Further north lies Puka Beach, geologically more natural, with shell sand and less development. Boracay temporarily became a symbol of uncontrolled mass tourism. In 2018, the government temporarily closed the island completely to renovate sewage systems and limit ecological damage. Today, stricter environmental regulations apply, and continuous attempts are made to make tourism more sustainable. Samar and Leyte belong to the less developed regions of the Visayas. In the northeast of the region, dense forests, extensive cave systems, and irregular coastlines line up here. Kalangaman Island off Leyte is a narrow sandbar island with symmetrical shape. It consists of piled coral sand and changes its contours with currents and tides. Vegetation remains minimal, making the island appear almost geometric. The Sohuton Caves on Samar form a complex cave and lagoon system. Limestone formations, underground rivers, and protected pools show the geological activity of the region. Each lagoon hides another secret, and anyone who has always wanted to dive safely with thousands of jellyfish can pursue their dream here. Don't worry, these rare specimens have no stinger. Between both islands spans the San Juanico Bridge, the longest bridge in the Philippines. It connects not only landmasses but also historical regions. One of the most iconic bridges in all of Asia, perfectly rounding off the Visayas. Before heading to the capital, we travel to the extreme west of the country, to Palawan. This island province is considered the geologically most dramatic in the Philippines. The heart of the island is an underground river that moves through limestone for more than 8 kilometres before flowing directly into the sea. Large sections are navigable and lead through cave chambers with ceilings up to 60 metres high. El Nido lies at the northern tip of Palawan and is internationally known for its rugged karst coast. Hundreds of limestone islands rise from turquoise water, interspersed with lagoons, caves, and hidden beaches. This formation emerged from ancient coral deposits that were tectonically lifted and eroded. So-called island hopping is less a tourist concept than geological exploration. Boats navigate through narrow channels into the Big Lagoon and Small Lagoon, protected water basins that act like natural amphitheatres. The watercolour is created by depth, lime sediments, and light refraction. The region embodies the iconic image of the Philippines: rock, water, and sky in immediate proximity. Coron belongs to the Calamian Island group north of Palawan and is characterised by steeply rising limestone mountains. Unlike El Nido, the landscape here concentrates on inland waters. Kayangan Lake is considered one of the clearest lakes in Asia. Its water is a mixture of fresh and salt water, enclosed in a closed karst basin. The twin lagoon shows the interplay of sea and rock. Two lagoons are connected by a narrow gap, shaped by water currents and tides. Temperature differences between salt and freshwater create visible stratifications. Coron is also historically significant. Off the coast lie wrecks of Japanese ships from World War II, which today form artificial reefs. The Tubbataha Reefs lie isolated in the Sulu Sea and belong to the most species-rich coral ecosystems in the world. The protected area consists of 2 atolls and a smaller reef surrounded by deep ocean. The UNESCO World Natural Heritage Site harbours hundreds of coral species, sharks, turtles, and large schools of fish. Tubbataha is strictly protected. Tourism is limited, fishing prohibited. The area is considered a reference point for intact coral reefs in Southeast Asia. It shows what marine protected areas can look like when human influence remains minimised. Beyond the known hotspots, Palawan consists of an extensive coastal landscape with hundreds of smaller islands. Places like Port Barton, Linapakan, or the Balabac Islands show a version of Palawan that remains closer to traditional coastal culture. Fishing villages, wooden boats, and mangroves define the image. Palawan shows the archipelago as a biological network rather than isolated places.
Now we head to Luzon, the largest island of the Philippines, and at the same time its political and historical centre. Here concentrate government, economy, and colonial past, but also some of the most impressive landscapes of the country. Starting with Metro Manila, the urban centre of the Philippines and home to over 13 million people, Intramuros is Manila's walled old town and was founded in the 16th century as a Spanish administrative centre. Massive stone walls enclose an area that still shows the layout of colonial urban planning today. Churches, monasteries and squares lie close together and convey a cohesive historical ensemble. San Agustin Church, part of the UNESCO World Heritage, is the oldest stone church in the Philippines. Rizal Park is one of the most important memorial sites in the Philippines. Named after Jose Rizal, the national hero of the country, it lies directly in front of the walls of Intramuros. Here Rizal was executed in 1896, an event that significantly influenced the independence movement. Today the park is a public space for recreation and national ceremonies. The park connects history with daily life. It shows how collective memory remains part of urban life. Binondo is considered the oldest Chinatown in the world and emerged in the 16th century as a trading district for Chinese immigrants. To this day, it is a centre for gastronomy, markets and entrepreneurship. Makati and Bonifacio Global City represent modern Manila. High-rises, financial centres and international companies shape the skylines. Both districts were developed in a planned manner and differ strongly from the historical core. They show the economic dynamism of the country and the rapid transformation of Southeast Asian metropolises. Northern Luzon is dominated by the Cordillera mountain range, a highland region with cooler climate and independent culture. Vigan belongs to the best preserved colonial cities in Asia and conveys an almost complete cityscape from the 16th century. Cobblestone streets, massive trading houses, and wooden balconies characterise the architecture. The UNESCO World Heritage protects not only individual buildings, but the entire urban fabric. The city shows how colonial architecture was adapted to tropical climate and is still used today. The Ifugao Rice Terraces belong to the oldest continuously cultivated cultural landscapes on Earth. More than 2,000 years ago, indigenous communities began transforming steep mountain slopes into stepped fields. Banaue forms the most famous panorama of this landscape. From viewpoints, the terraces appear like green contour lines of a living mountain. But only places like Batad and Bangan show the system in detail. In Batad, the terraces close amphitheatre-like around an isolated village that is only accessible on foot. Bangan conveys daily life between fields and houses. Here, the terraces are not a symbol, but a workspace. This landscape is not a relic of the past. It remains a functioning agricultural system, maintained through generations. The Ifugao terraces show how human architecture and natural topography can merge. Not as a monument, but as living infrastructure. Very nearby lies Sagada, a place known for traditional burial rituals in which coffins are attached to rock faces or placed in caves. Central Luzon forms a transition zone between fertile plains and active volcanic landscape. Tagaytay lies on a ridge with a clear view over Taal Lake. The cooler climate made the city a popular retreat for residents of Manila. Restaurants, parks and viewpoints are entirely oriented toward the panorama. Taal Volcano lies within a lake that itself formed in a huge caldera. This nested structure belongs to the geologically most complex systems in Southeast Asia. The volcano is one of the most active in the country and continuously reshapes the landscape. Viewpoints along the lake show crater islands, steam fields, and changing water lines. But it is only one of many active volcanoes in the region. Especially in the Bicol region in southeastern Luzon, one of the most volcanically active zones in the Philippines, the giants rise here from the earth. Mayon Volcano is considered one of the most symmetrical stratovolcanoes in the world. Its nearly perfect cone shape dominates the region, while regular eruptions make it both dangerous and iconic. Despite its activity, Mayon is a strong cultural symbol. The population has lived for generations in the sphere of influence of the volcano. It stands for the balance between natural beauty and permanent threat. Very nearby lies Donsol, a seasonal meeting point for whale sharks that visit the coastal area because of high plankton concentration. Between February and May, the animals can be regularly observed. Unlike at heavily touristic places, the encounter here is based on strictly controlled ecotourism. The region is less a resort landscape than a working coast, a place where nature observation became part of the local economy. Mindanao is the southernmost main island of the Philippines. It appears pristine in landscape. Here, nature is not in the background, but determines scale and rhythm. The Siargao and Surreal region lies on the Pacific coast of Mindanao and is strongly shaped by the open ocean. Cloud 9 is the most famous surf zone in the Philippines and a reference point for international wave riders. The wooden boardwalk leads directly into the water and serves as an observation point. From here it becomes visible how ocean movement structures landscape. The waves are seasonally strong and attract surfers from around the world, while the surroundings remain village-like. The Magpupunco rock pools form at low tide, when seawater collects in natural limestone basins. The pools appear like closed lagoons, although they are part of the open coast. The water remains calm and clear, while waves break outside. This geological formation shows how coral and limestone are modelled by erosion. Camiguin is a small volcanic island north of Mindanao, often called the Island of Fire. Despite its size, the island has an unusual landscape density. Coast, rainforest, and highlands lie close together. White Island is an uninhabited sandbar off the coast of Camiguin, and the name couldn't be more fitting. It consists entirely of coral sand and changes its shape depending on currents and season. Vegetation is almost completely absent, making the island appear like a minimalist line of white and blue with a view of the volcanic chain. The Sunken Cemetery is a historical site that partially sank into the sea after a volcanic eruption in the 19th century. A large cross marks the former cemetery area today. At low tide, wall remains become visible. At high tide, everything disappears underwater. The Katibawasan Falls plunge from about 70 metres height over a vertical rock face into a natural pool. The water comes from the volcanic mountains of the island and flows strongly even in drier months. Surrounded by dense jungle, the waterfall appears like a hidden natural setting. The highlands of Mindanao generally belong to the most water-rich regions of the Philippines. Rainforest, river systems, and volcanic rock create numerous waterfalls, many of them remote and little documented. We'll simply show a few here and let the images speak for themselves, while they can let our video about the Philippines sink in. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, please leave a like and subscribe to not miss any more videos. Until next time.